What's going on there, YouTube? And welcome back to another comic book video. This is the channel where we sit down and cover different comic book stories from different comic book companies. Today, we're going to jump back over to Marvel Comics and continue our coverage over the Ultimate Marvel Universe. Now, we're going to cover the second half of Ultimate FF, which basically means Ultimate Future Foundation. This was a team put together by Iron Man, Susan Storm, Falcon, and also Machine Man to basically protect the Ultimate Marvel Universe from threats from other dimensions. Later on, they were joined by Doctor Doom. Now, this was a very short-lived series. The first video covered the first storyline. This video will cover the second and last storyline of this series. And let me tell you, the first one was normal. This video is just bonkers. It's bonkers, it's crazy. I wish y'all the best of luck. If you like it, please leave me a like and subscribe for more content to come in the near future. But this one is bonkers, y'all. Here we go. Ultimate FF Volume 1, Part 2. So with the opening of this book, we get reminded about the fact that Doctor Doom did not die in Ultimatum. That the person Ben Grimm killed was someone else pretending to be Doctor Doom, while the real Doctor Doom was trapped in the Marvel Zombie universe. He's telling us how he was able to survive that other universe, and it made him believe that he can also save the Ultimate Marvel universe. Tell you the truth, I don't like the way this Doctor Doom is written in this book because he is overconfident like the original Doctor Doom, but he doesn't have a good reason to be overconfident. After we get reminded of the idea of Doctor Doom being trapped in the Marvel Zombie universe, we jump back to the idea that the Future Foundation is trapped in a dimension we were first introduced back in Ultimate X-Men Comics Catalysm, where Rick Jones, who is now going by the name Captain Marvel now, he's the one who found this dimension and the one who got trapped in this dimension with some of the Ultimate Galactic Swarm in that same story. Well, when Doctor Doom, Iron Man, Susan Storm, and Falcon teleported here, they also got trapped in here and trying to figure a way home. And they're also tired of hearing about Doctor Doom stories of him being so great and stuff. Lucky for them, you have Iron Man being the one who finally has a smart moment in this series and figures out a way to get themselves home. This also includes Captain Marvel as well, and honestly, he does explain how they can use Captain Marvel powers and the technology of Doctor Doom that led them to this dimension in the first place. After he explains to Captain Marvel how his powers could lead them home safely, that is when he opens up a portal. Of course, the portal opens up and it does lead them back into the Ultimate Marvel Universe world. Except when they get there, because the portal has a high level of energy, the American government and the Future Foundation's home team came together and brought a force of the army, heroes, and anything else they had to help defend themselves, because they had no idea what was going to come out of the portal in the first place. So once the members of the Future Foundation actually came through the portal, you have everyone celebrate the fact that everyone is finally home after being trapped in another dimension. Except the celebration has to be cut short because you have someone mention they have someone else from another dimension who needs to talk to the Future Foundation about something. At first, it's like, why wouldn't this person speak to anyone else? But this person asked to speak to the Future Foundation only. So you have Susan Storm and Sam Wilson walk in to talk to this person. This is where we get introduced to Spider-Ham, aka Miles Morhamis. What a horrible name. Whew, it's gonna be a weird video. We learned that Miles Morhamis is from the universe where every Marvel character there was animals. Something else to point out is that that universe went in the same order the Ultimate Marvel Universe did. So everything the Ultimate Marvel Universe went through, well, the Animal Universe did too. Except when it came to Galactus appearing, well, the universe died at that moment. So getting back to the present day in the Ultimate Marvel Universe, we see that Susan Storm is confused about what the problem is because in the Ultimate Marvel Universe, they were able to beat Galactus. So to Susan Storm, the universe is not going to die. And you have Miles Morales mention that what kills off different universes is if Reed Richards and Susan Storm have a baby. That if they don't have a baby, the universe they are in dies. He goes on to explain that he has seen a ton of different universes that ended up like his. They all ended up the same. If Reed Richards and Susan Storm don't have a child, the universes die. In his universe, well, she falls in love with the animal version of Doctor Doom. And with them falling in love, well, that ended up with their universe dying off. For the Future Foundation, they are wondering if this is true, since in the main Marvel Universe, Reed Richards and Susan Storm had children and that universe is still around. Now, Ben Grimm is upset. Remember that at this point in the Ultimate Marvel Universe, Susan Storm and Ben Grimm are dating. So when Ben Grimm hears that another version of Susan Storm gets with Doctor Doom, well, he wants answers on how Doctor Doom is alive again. Well, this is where we finally learn how Doctor Doom is alive again in this universe and who died in Ultimatum. While he was trapped in the Marvel Zombie universe, well, he had Mary Storm, the mother of Susan Storm and Johnny Storm, take his place. So after he disappeared in the Marvel Zombie storyline, every other time was Mary Storm. That was the one who Ben Grimm killed, which makes sense because remember, she did speak about how she has some kind of alliance with Doctor Doom. Getting back to the kid thing, well, for Susan Storm, she can't believe the idea that she and Reed Richards have to have a child together to save the Ultimate Marvel Universe from dying. Except you have Miles Morales commenting on the idea that his Susan Storm told him that Susan Storms across the universe are the keys to saving all of the universes from dying. Sadly, that is not true because if you read Jonathan Hickman's Avengers and New Avengers run, you will know what is the real reason why the universes are dying. And so you have Susan Storm go visit the one person who she thought would not speak to ever again. Of course, that person being Reed Richards. Remember that at this point in the Ultimate Marvel Universe, Reed Richards had become the Maker, a villain who did some messed up things. Then he only turned good again when he found out that the main Marvel Universe version of himself had children with the main Marvel Universe version, Susan Storm. But for Ultimate Susan Storm, she can't believe Reed Richards being good again after everything he did. Except she's not here to tell him like, hey, let's get back together and let's have a baby to save the Ultimate Marvel Universe. No, what she wants to do is actually kind of force a part of him out of him to be put inside of her to get her pregnant. Yeah, and sadly, this is only the beginning of how weird this whole book is about to get after this crazy turn. What I mean by a crazy turn is because Ultimate FF number 6 picks up 9 months later. This book was supposed to be our last Ultimate Marvel video, but I was like, nah, go ahead and throw it in with the rest of the mess. Now remember, I mentioned that it has been 9 months because we pick up with Susan Storm giving birth. making us believe that maybe she did take a part of Reed Richards and got pregnant by him. Also pointing out that if Susan Storm has a baby, the baby will be super powerful because her and Reed Richards are both characters who got powers from cosmic waves. The next 3 pages tell us that we are at the point where the Ultimate Marvel Universe is going to die, which leads into the Secret Wars event, because you have Phil Coulson asking Reed Richards for help, but Reed said he already has a plan in motion. We then see Tony Stark is also working on finding a way to save the world from falling apart, and Tony is upset that he is unable to complete this task. Then we see Machine Man, who was Danny Ketch, is also working on something as well, but then he detects something is coming. That is when he calls out to all of the heroes that are left at this point in the Ultimate Marvel Universe to tell them that another breach is coming through. Remember that the Future Foundation was built to stop dimension breaches coming through. They have an idea that the multiverse is dying, but they don't know how the multiverse is really dying. This breach is going to pop up in one location, and that location is the hospital that Susan Storm is having the baby at. To Sam Wilson, it makes sense because her baby is going to be this powerful baby that could save the universe. This is where we see that for this breach from another dimension, well, it leads into us getting other Marvel heroes that look like Cyclops from this other dimension. And they're all here to basically kill the baby of Susan Storm. Before you ask why they are here and why they are trying to kill the baby of Susan Storm, let me tell you now, they don't explain why these other versions of the Marvel heroes are here. Oh yeah, Johnny Storm finally returns again after being gone for a short period of time since the end of the last Ultimates run we had covered a while ago. Now, once the baby is born, well, the baby has powers, of course. It has powers, and we see that the baby is able to release some kind of energy. What this energy does is actually able to close the portals that the Cyclops looking monsters came from and pull most of them back into the portal, except for one. And the one that is still on the loose is, of course, the Cyclops from that dimension. So we have a Cyclops looking Cyclops trying to kill a baby. But also, this is the moment where Ben Grimm finds out that the baby's father is not Reed Richards. This is how the book closes, and thank God this series did not get a second volume because this is crazy. So you have Reed Richards walk in and explain to us that Susan never forced a part of Reed to get her pregnant, that Reed was able to convince Susan to actually mix her DNA with Ben Grimm instead, that Miles Morhamis did mention the universe that did die was the ones where Susan Storm did not have a kid. So the ones that lived, she did have a kid. But to Reed, it should not matter who the father of the child is. Only the fact that if she has a kid, the universe should be saved. So the book ends on that note. And this is where we are going to end today's video. So please hit that like button down below and also subscribe to the channel for more content to come in the near future. Also, any suggestions on books I should read? Well, please let me know in the comments below, because you never know, your suggestion could be a future video down the road. But I do hope you enjoy today's video.